Basically, we urinate in bottles and sell it as like
Nice.
an ailment for any sexual dysfunctions anyone has.
Today, on This American Dice, we present Dungeon World, The Mission to Big Chasm City, Episode 1. This game is not only an introduction to Dungeon World to 2 of the 3 players, but also the culmination of Austin having subjected his cousins to Dungeons & Dragons back in the late 1990s. Now, after that terrible emotional scarring, we see this play out as them having a Stockholm Syndrome-like effect in which they're now real into the game. Please enjoy our first episode, featuring David as Mad Mab the Half-Witch, Jake as Dr. Pilchas Goldstein, and Matt as Herzl Quarterling. With no further ado, here is This American Dice presents Dungeon World, Cousins Edition, Mission to Big Chasm City, Episode 1. So the gist of what the setting is you guys are kind of in like a desert wasteland, and you're heading out from this city that's in this like chasm or ravine, and there are other nearby cities that are in kind of these chasms or ravines, and they're kind of these geothermic formations that blow to be made there that blow hot air up, and so it kind of keeps everything warm, and it's dangerous to travel between these ravines because there are these giant flying basically pterodactyl monsters called ornidones that like assault people outside of the city, so only adventurers are hired to like move stuff from one place to the other. So you guys are basically teamsters moving things in one way or another. So we're going to start kind of in media res on that. But because this is Dungeon World, we're going to have to meet our characters first and then develop bonds and that kind of stuff. So could you guys go around and give us just the 1 or 2 sentence elevator pitch of your character?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I was going to say try to avoid anything too incriminating to yourself.
All right, let's see what David has cooked up
Yeah, why
first.
don't you start us off?
All right, I've got Mad Mab the Half-Witch, which is a halfling druid. I guess she's from this vast desert. So I just have a list of animals from the Grand Canyon that I'm going to change into. I think she's just like, I'm going to play her as a crazy old lady, so that's basically the elevator pitch, but very short and with horns.
All right. Oh, and as a druid, you change into animals, but they always have one feature that stays the same. So you always have horns.
Yeah, she has bison horns at all times. I found a little picture on that thing of just an insane looking halfling.
I was gonna say.
In the character sheet. Oh yeah, there it is. So even if she's like a small bird, she still has bison horns.
Mm-hmm. And if she's a bison, she has 2 sets of horns. Even more
Double
intimidating.
horns. Okay.
So horny.
Gotcha. So extra horny. All right. Cool. So we've got an insane witch from out in the wasteland who changes into animals.
Okay,
All right, who's going? Me or you?
I'll go. I am a human fighter. My name is Dr. Pilchas Goldstein. And nothing too crazy. He's a very demented character. I'm trying to go for like a chaotic evil, so we'll see what happens.
Okay. So, but he's somehow a doctor and a fighter as well.
You'll find out how he's a doctor.
Oh, fun. Is he okay? So I almost imagined for a second that he was a doctor, the way it's like a professional wrestler would be like, "I'm the doctor."
He's a medical.
But that's not.
Yeah.
He's a medical doctor. He actually has a medical degree. All right.
Yep. From
right.
Barbados.
I am Theodore Herzl, the halfling thief. He goes I want him to look like a shorter than average halfling. So he is shorter than the average halfling would already be, and he goes by Herzl Quarterling as a nickname.
There we go. Herzl Quarterling.
Herzl Quarterling, and he is a kleptomaniac who cannot resist shiny objects and money of any kind, and will do anything for financial gain, which is why he is joining this adventure, because I'm assuming there is some monetary benefit at the end.
All right. Cool. So
wait, I forgot also. While he's shorter than the average, he also has a beard that is just so out of place and not even part of character probably, but he's got a huge
We're
one.
very committed.
Everyone is
to the beard.
extremely thrown off by it because he looks like a 7-year-old with a beard.
okay. Now, how are you going to play this fiction? This insane leap from reality of a character with a crazy beard. Matt, who looks like he just came out of the wardrobe department at a theater.
He's actually Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Except the child version of.
Gotcha. So that child version, yeah, is it like a long white beard, or like a disheveled gray beard, or some? I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. A pitch black beard.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we've got the basic pitch of our characters: Herzl Quarterling, Dr. Pilchas, and Mad Mab the Half Witch. Which
What is
sounds
the
like
fighter name? Dr. something?
Pilchas
17
Goldstein.
syllables?
Yeah.
Pilchas Goldstein?
He's a
All right.
gastroenterologist.
He's a gastroenterologist. All right. And somehow, again, a fighter for some reason. All right. Cool. So our next thing is, should we do bonds next, David, or do you think like the why you're going on this journey?
I don't know. I guess bonds.
Sure. Okay, so everybody has a bond with the other characters, and the good thing is since there's just 3 of us, this will be a little faster than normal.
I have the ability to have a running con with somebody, so I don't know if that is appealing at all, but we could be in some sort of... Jake just stepped out. We could be in some sort of con artist trickery of some kind.
David, does that have any appeal to you as Mad Mab the Half Witch?
I don't know. What were you thinking?
Sell erotic potions that don't actually work.
So you sell like erotic snake oil?
Yes. How does that sound?
Oh, yeah. Oh, since we're both halflings, maybe it's like halfling essence.
Yes.
It'll get you there.
Essence, I love it. That's
Halfling
it.
essence. You won't.
We literally just pee in these bottles. That's it. And so
Yeah.
Yep, that's what we do.
You guys sell halfling urine to people and tell them that it will cure various sexual ailments.
yeah, halfling musk.
Yeah, halfling. Oh.
Oh, that's it.
I'm the muscle, and I front as the doctor to the organization. Hence,
Gotcha. Okay, so you're also involved in this.
yeah, we call it Dr. Pilchas Goldstein's Halfling Musk.
But Dr. Pilchas Goldstein, is he a halfling as well?
No.
Okay.
We could say that Matt sold me a bottle of Halfling Musk, and I was real upset about it when I found out that it was fake. So instead of killing him, he let me in on the con.
Is there a bond on your sheet that could connect with that could work out there?
Jake can know incriminating details about me.
I have owes me their life whether they admit it or not. I have sworn to protect someone. I worry about the ability of someone to survive in the dungeon, and then is soft, but I will make them hard like me.
Well, that is the promise on Dr. Pilchas Goldstein's Halfling Musk.
Yeah.
Honestly, I enjoy
Auto.
us selling him the false halfling musk and him finding out and being pissed. So we let him in on this adventure we got recruited for.
Something that Matt.
Okay, well then, Matt, on your sheet, that one that says like, oh, he knows my shit, whatever the exact wording is. That could work for you. The one that says knows incriminating details about me. So Dr. Pilchas Goldstein knows incriminating details about you.
All right.
And then
Also, it's Pilchas.
Pilchas, sorry. Dr. P. Goldstein. And this works out well with this urine fetish that you guys have arrived at. Oh my god, and gold?
Yeah.
Oh, it's all coming together. Okay. All right, so David or Jake, what are you thinking here for your bonds?
All right, I got so the good doctor is a human. We said, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've showed Dr. Goldstein a secret right of the land, which is how to make the real musk. We're selling the fake stuff, but
that's the con. Oh yeah.
Okay, so Dr. Goldstein knows how to actually do it, and so does Mad Mab the Half Witch. That's not what you're selling, though. You're just peeing in bottles and selling that.
absolutely.
Okay.
Turns into different animals and urinates in the bottles, so it's
Gotcha. This is white. Yeah, it was a bird that day. Anyway, all right. And Jake, any of those appealing to you?
All right, so I'll say that I've sworn to protect Dave because he showed me the real key to the urination musk.
Mm-hmm.
And
we did all this so Jake wouldn't hurt us.
I'll say Matt is soft, but I'll make him real hard.
Yeah, the spirit has spoke to me of a great danger that follows Theodore.
Oh, okay. And
that's why he's probably so soft.
Gotcha. He's so soft because the spirit has discovered some kind of spooky curse or something like that.
You got it.
Okay.
I'm in.
All right.
Design improvement. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Right now, though, the funny thing, Matt, is with that hat, what is making up the stripes? Is that fish?
It's fish.
Yeah, you look like the ethnic neighbor that they'd have on Duck Dynasty.
Except they would never have an ethnic neighbor on Duck Dynasty.
Yeah. So, this is going to start kind of in media res. So you guys are already on this adventure. Like you already were heading out to another like nearby city or nearby settlement that's a little bit bigger than yours, and you were heading there to get supplies. And we can figure out what these supplies are in just a second. But why is it that you agreed to go on this excursion? You know it's going to be dangerous.
Money.
I'm going purely to create chaos for everyone else.
Okay.
Okay. You said what the pterodactyls were ornidones?
Ornidones, yeah.
Is that a real thing? Who cares?
Nope.
So ornidones. Mad Mab wants to study one of these. If I study an animal, I can gain their essence.
Okay.
I've got to see what this is. More of a research to insanely ride one of these things. These
Okay.
monsters.
Ride one and siphon its
Dr.
musk.
Help him with that.
That's the only way I have to ride an animal to do.
So Dungeon World has a cool move that you do when you're undertaking a perilous journey and leaving this chasm and heading out into the vast wilderness, not wilderness, but the vast like blighted wasteland that surrounds the chasm or the ravine is definitely a dangerous journey or a perilous journey. So first off, actually, what is the name of the city that you guys are leaving? Just so we have something to call it rather than just the ravine that you guys came from.
It's the one that's like built on the side of a cliff.
It's in like a ravine. So imagine that like all around everything is just kind of like flat, cragged up earth. And then there are like huge, like steep kind of ravines or caverns that go down. And the deal is that the ornidones can't get in there, in part because of like the hot air that's shooting out of them. But people have dug into the sides of these caverns to kind of build their homes. And so like the entire city is in this like narrow chasm. I'd imagine they practiced vertical agriculture.
So we're going to a different city in the same chasm, is the deal?
No, you have to leave your chasm and go to another chasm.
The safety of our home chasm to a different chasm?
Exactly, because you got to get some kind of supplies that you don't have in your home chasm. Anybody want to make an orgasm joke? This is a great opportunity for it.
We're leaving Jerusalem.
Jeruschasm?
Jeruschasm.
And where are you heading?
Is it like a bigger chasm, a smaller chasm?
Sure, yeah, it's a bigger chasm. That's why I said...
chasm.
Say again?
Big chasm.
Big
chasm.
Big Chasm City. Love it. Okay. Jeruschasm to Big Chasm City.
Now I'm getting like, it's like Las Vegas. There's neon lights in the chasm everywhere.
Absolutely.
High rollers.
Yeah. What happens
Just
in
don't
Big
roll
Chasm?
down.
Yeah, what happens in Big Chasm City stays there, but mostly because of the ornidones. They're very dangerous. Also, chlamydia. So yeah, you guys head out. You leave as per. Were you guys the only ones to do that? Or actually, fuck it. Let's make this roll, and we'll see how this went. So, when you guys undertake a perilous journey, there are 3 positions to take: a quartermaster, a trailblazer, and a scout.
And doggy style.
And also doggy style. So that's the best way to get yourself to a chasm. The quartermaster is kind of in charge of your supplies. The trailblazer is the one who like is in charge of kind of how quickly you move. Trailblast. I am the trailblaster. And then the scout is the one who's like looking for trouble on the way. So who wants to do what?
Well, Mad can like turn into a bird or something. Maybe she could be the scout. Literal eagle eyes.
All right. How about Dr. P. Goldstein and Herzl Quarterling?
What? There was Scout. Can you say them again? They're listed.
Yeah, Quartermaster, Trailblazer, and Scout. And David's kind of suggested that since he can turn into birds, it makes sense for him to be the Scout.
I agree. I agree with that.
Said Trailmaster is an option.
Trailblazer.
And that's the person who... All of these roles are wisdom-based roles.
Oh, great.
Unfortunately.
Wow.
Unless you have some kind of special thing that changes that. But... Yeah.
I have...
What's the Trailblazer do?
They basically set the pace. You determine the amount of time that it takes you to reach whatever you're reaching.
And what was the other one? Sorry.
The quartermaster is in charge of supplies.
I'll be the Trailblazer.
I have the ability to detect traps and shit. I don't know if that's any help for this, but...
It is once we are actually at the place, but during the perilous journey part, it fictionally can make sense, but it also might fictionally make sense, Matt, if you're like, I'll be in charge of the stuff because you're a crazy thief. And apparently a klepto.
That's...
Okay. So, could everybody make a wisdom roll? So you just roll 2d6 and you add your wisdom bonus, which is just your WIS, your whiz.
5.
5, all right. That's with your wisdom bonus?
Yeah, that was a bad roll.
I'm at a 9.
I got a 6.
Fortunately, 6 and below, they're misses. They're like failure rolls. The cool thing is in this game, you guys each get an experience point. The good thing is, well, we'll see if that's good. But, all right, so unfortunately for the quartermaster, you can tell me how this goes. All of the rations that you guys have, you're going to start things off without any rations. So you guys either rip through them on this journey, just gorging yourselves like pigs, or maybe it's like, oh damn it, there's ants in here. You guys can tell me what that is.
I say we gorge ourselves like pigs because we're all kind of unstable characters.
Okay. Sure. All right. Yeah. So yeah, you guys literally just on the first day were like snacking the whole time through. On this journey. Then the deal is that whatever is needed is something that's needed fairly soon. And so since our trailblazer failed his role, the deal there is like you guys are sent specifically to go get supplies for Jeruschasm that like are badly needed. Like it's like, oh, we need medicine for the plague.
More oil for the menorahs.
Yeah. But wait, it lasted so much longer than we thought. A miracle. But no, but yeah. So what's the thing that's like desperately needed back home that you guys that they sent you out on this journey to go get?
Hummus.
Just food. There's just like a. All right, so yeah, so it's like we desperately need food. This whole plan of vertical agriculture wasn't working. I don't know what we were thinking. Okay, so yeah, so there's like a hunger epidemic going on in Jeruschasm, and you guys have to return with food. All right. Meanwhile, Mad Mab, the half witch, which sounds like a menu item at a deli. The half witch. You got a 9?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. You guys were not the only people hired to go on this journey. There was like a wizard and a ranger, some other folks that were kind of hired to go along with you. And I think that ornidones did assault this crew of people, and those folks are now all dead. And so you guys are kind of like the remainders of them. And we kind of join you guys as you get to... there's this way station, and you guys are kind of like running for cover from these ornidones, which are basically just giant pterodactyl creatures.
Wait, are we... Oh, we're in a chasm running?
No, you have to leave.
Lunking up? Okay, so we've already...
Yes. Yeah.
Like, climbed up.
Yeah, I
We're on
think...
level ground now.
Right, so the deal with the chasms is it's safety from these pterodactyls. Now that you're in kind of like on the surface, that's where you like can more easily be preyed upon by these creatures. But you know that there's a way station in between Jeruschasm and Big Chasm City, and you guys are like running towards it now. But when you kind of like round like a big boulder that's kind of in your way, instead of seeing this way station, it looks all fucked up. It looks like it's been partially knocked over. It's like kind of like tilted a good amount. It also looks like it's been burned. It still seems like it could work as shelter, but this is definitely not what you guys were expecting to encounter on your way. If you've made this journey before, you've probably stayed in this way station before, and it's pretty fucked up. It's probably the size of like a fairly small house. But again, these ornidones are kind of circling. You were able to escape their assaults the first time around, but who knows if that'll go well again.
So we're at this way station currently.
Right, you guys are kind of like coming up to it. So You guys just head on in, even though it's kind of tilted and burned. It's not.
No signs.
It's not presently on fire. In case that's a worry that anybody has.
No signs of anyone having been there recently, or besides the.
All right, that sounds like Dr. Pilchas Goldstein is making a discern realities roll. So, unfortunately, that's another wisdom roll for you, Jake.
All right.
So roll 2d6.
Yeah. So I got a 2.
Oh, fuck. So you're looking at this place as you guys are coming up, and go ahead and make. I'll do this as kind of like I won't do this as hard of a thing, because I haven't had enough of my halfling musk, so I can't go as hard as I normally would. But the go ahead and as you're running, you're like, I wonder what could have gone on here, and go ahead and just roll for me. Just a d6.
Both of us?
No, just at the moment, just you, Jake.
All right, I got another 2.
As you're kind of rushing up and you're looking over this place, and you're like, I don't remember this place being all burned up and tilted over almost. A rock just kind of wangs into you, and your armor shrugs it off. It doesn't hurt you at all because your armor is like what, +2 or +3?
2.
2, yeah. So even if it was 2 or 1, it doesn't do anything to you. But you just got hit with a rock. As for Mad Mab and Herzl Quarterling, could you guys? You notice even more of these rocks kind of fly at you after you see Dr. Goldstein get hit with a rock. More of these are kind of coming your way. You guys, though, have a chance to kind of duck and cover if you want.
Are they coming from this way station? Or?
Yeah, it'd be pretty silly for me to be like, you don't know. But yeah, from the way station, you seem to be getting pelted with rocks.
Can we see where they're coming from?
He just said the waste.
No, I mean like in like the roof of the house. Are they in Are they around back? Where are these? If we could see them.
So they're definitely coming from the direction of the way station. I think depending on how you want to handle this barrage of rocks that are coming your way, you might be able to find some other information out, or at least not avoid getting hit by rocks.
I am moving behind Jake's character.
Okay.
I was thinking the same thing. Like, oh, it looks like rain. She hides behind the very tall fighter.
Okay. You guys line up in according to height. Yeah, all right. So that sounds either like dexterity, where you're just trying to get out of the way physically, or like quick thinking. So I could see that either as wisdom or dexterity.
Rolling 2.
Yeah, 2d6, and then add either your wisdom bonus or your dexterity bonus.
I got 11. 12.
You got 12 is pretty good. 11 is pretty good too. How about Mad Mab?
I got a 9 again.
9.
I got a 9 again.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, here's what I'm going to throw at you guys. So, Matt, Herzl Quarterling with that like successful roll, and since he's so incredibly short, he's able to. He sees Mad Mab get behind Dr. Goldstein, and then he gets behind Mad Mab, and he's able to scrunch down and look kind of between both of their legs at the thing. And yeah, you can tell that there are these rocks are being not just thrown, but like slung with slings, which is a stupid sentence. But these rocks are being hurled via sling at you guys from inside the way station.
Okay.
So if you want to get some more info you can in a second, but that's something you're just able to notice. Mad Mab, the thing you're able to notice, that's kind of like the unfortunate thing is, you guys, like, there is one of these ornidones that's like swooping right towards you guys. Like whatever you do, you are in the extreme danger of this thing. It's like dive bombering you guys right now.
Okay.
And I imagine they're like big cartoon pterodactyls.
I start sprinting towards the broken down shack.
All right. So Dr. Goldstein starts sprinting towards the way station, flinging himself headlong. All right. How about you guys?
Mad Mab's gonna try to change into one of those lizards that like runs on water, you know, like those real fast running lizards.
Sure.
To this area, and also hopefully become a smaller target.
Okay. I'm down for that. And then, Matt, what's your game plan, or what's Herzl's plan?
I leap on the back of the lizard that Mad Mab turns into, regardless of size. No, I'm just I jump on Jake's back like a backpack.
Okay. You're gonna try to, oh, you are really tiny. You're gonna try to leap onto him. Okay. Cool. Sure. So
Make him roll.
yeah, let's see how David's thing goes, because he might make himself like not a target anymore by being so tiny. So David, go ahead and roll your turn into an animal power.
Yeah. Oh yeah, pretty good. 13.
13 is pretty good. Okay, so yeah, so you're able to shrink down into one of those, like, are they goannas? Or is that a different animal?
They're called basilisks.
You turn into and you turn into Elon Musk, a very small Elon Musk, and you start running. But yeah, I think what is it?
A frilled neck lizard.
A frilled neck lizard. That's what you turn into. So you turn into a frilled neck lizard, and you do that thing where their arms are kind of off to the side, and you're just running frantically. And I think that works pretty well of like kind of removing you as a like easy target from this thing's perspective. You've not disappeared, but you're a far less of a tasty morsel. And would you be willing to use that as one of your like holds?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. All right. So meanwhile, we've got Dr. Pilchas Goldstein and Herzl Quarterling, and Herzl is attempting to leap onto the back of Dr. Goldstein. Here's what we could do with this. Here's what we could do with this. We could have Dr. Goldstein try to defy the danger of being grabbed by this ornidon, and Herzl could assist him as well. So Herzl, Dr. Goldstein, why don't you go ahead and roll a defy danger? You're just trying to sprint, right?
Yeah, I'm just booking it.
Okay. Do you think that's more dexterity or more strength related, if we say he has to like pick up this guy and just build up as much speed as possible?
I'll say strength.
I'm down with that. So yeah, this is less of a like being nimble and agile, and more of just like, I just have to go as fast as possible. Hulk run.
I got a 14.
14's pretty fucking good. Actually, Matt, don't worry about rolling. That's not going to get any higher than that. So, so Herzl hops onto Dr. Goldstein's back, and they run as fast as possible. And this ornidon, again, a giant pterodactyl, swoops by and narrowly misses you guys as you're about to, as you get up to the, it's now kind of tilted off to the side at like almost a 45-degree angle, the door of this place. And inside you hear chittering noises, and like it's just like a like weird, like all kinds of crazy sounds.
I can't check anything.
What's that door open, dude?
My wisdom's an 8 with a -1, so I'm not going to waste a roll.
Well, if any of you guys think like, is that a noise I've heard before, you could maybe roll something else to figure that out, which would be an intelligence roll, but you might. It depends what you're wanting to do. And I'd say Mad Mab is probably up there with you guys. though a lizard.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not gonna use any of your stupid human senses because now I have a little Jacobson organ. I'm gonna stick my tongue out and see what I can smell with my tongue. That's how lizards work. Also, bison horns.
Yeah, so you're a lizard with that weird neck flap, but also with bison horns. I like that. You truly are a monster. All right, so if you're down to spend one of your things, I can tell you can just like identify what's going on in here.
Oh, you know I am.
Okay, so there's goblins up in this bitch.
So they were pelting us with rocks?
Yeah, they were shooting them at you with like slings.
Are they?
And I'll say, Mad Mab, you can figure out there's like a handful of them in there.
Yeah, are they just freely running around, whipping rocks at us? Or are they hiding now that we're inside the building? Or
we're not in the building. We're up.
Yeah, I think you guys are like at the door. And I don't think it's locked. I don't think it's really locked per se. You guys could bust on in if you want.
I jump off his back once we approach the doorway. So just throwing that out there.
I grab. Okay. This is what I want to do.
You grab him and put him back on your back. Like, no, you don't.
I grab Herzl by the leg. I simultaneously swing him in a circle,
dude,
and kick the door open and throw him into the room, grenade style.
All right. Does that happen?
What do I roll?
Let's just see if Herzl's down for that to go on, or if we should say like, oh, we'll figure something else out.
I will try and attempt to dodge his grab that he's doing, but I mean, if I fail, I guess I'm going in grenade style. What am I going to do, dude? Right?
All right. Well, Herzl, were you planning on busting into this place?
I wasn't sure what my plan was yet.
Okay.
I mean, I definitely wouldn't be busting in grenade style, as Jake said it anyway. But if I have to, because I fail this, then I guess I will.
How about... Because I don't want to put you guys directly at odds with one another, because this game, I will say, like, this game doesn't work super well when people are, like, specifically at odds with each other.
I'm fighting him for it. It's all good.
I was going to try to say, like, if you were down to do that, you're a thief.
I walked into the room on my own.
You're a thief, right?
Yeah.
Herzl?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Why don't as he's like spinning you around, why don't you try to figure out you have an ability of like searching for danger?
I do. I have trap expert. Yes.
There you go. Why don't you go ahead and roll that? So while he's like swinging you around, you're busy looking, and we could say maybe like, oh,
I got a 7.
You got a 7. Hey, it's a partial success. That's pretty good.
As I'm spinning in the air.
Yeah, so you're like, let me just pause for a moment and check out my So you're interrupted a little bit. There is a series of questions that I think you get to ask. Is that the case, or am I making that
up? What else is hidden here?
Oh, what else is hidden here?
Yeah.
That's your big question. Okay. So what else is hidden here? I'll give you some of the main info of that. There is like, you can kind of see it before. At first, in fact, you think it's a trap, like a trapdoor trap. Okay. And then you realize in this way station where like travelers would usually come and stay just for a little bit to kind of like get respite from the assaults of these ornidones. There's what looks like a trapdoor trap that would drop somebody into it, but you realize actually it's a ladder down into this chasm. The deal with this this way station is there is a very, very small like geothermal vent that it's kind of built over. And again, the geothermal vents prevent the ornidones from like assaulting the building itself. So once you're in, you're pretty much safe from them. There seems to be stairs down into this geothermal chasm.
All right. So I noticed the way to safety, but I am being flung into the home. So
yeah. So you're like, huh? I thought that was a trap, but actually there's stairs going whoa, and you're kind of like thrown into the room. So, sorry, there's dust all over this stuff. Okay, cool. So I'll come back to you in just a sec. Oh, actually, yeah. As you're flung in here, you're kind of tossed amidst these, let's say like 5 goblins, and they have at this point now they've dropped these kind of crudely made slings, and they've picked up absolutely destroyed like swords and daggers. I think one of them like picks up a sword that Dr. Goldstein, you could tell should be like a long sword, but it's actually just like the handle and maybe like 4 inches of the blade part. And other ones have knives that are like all half melted and destroyed and that kind of thing. And these creatures lunge at you guys.
Who, me or them?
I would say definitely
Herzl.
Definitely Herzl. But
if I see any sort of exit out of the back door or something, and I have an ability to run to it, I'm doing that.
Okay. So we could have you run back towards like back out that front door you came through, or you could go through that that kind of way down.
I'm going down.
All right, so he's going to go down. We'll come back to you in a second to make that roll. What are the other guys doing here?
How far away are these goblins from me?
I'm going to say the room is only like 30 feet by 30 feet. It's pretty small. So like when you come in, you can absolutely just start fighting them if you want.
Yeah, that's definitely what I want.
Okay. Do you want to just attack these goblins, or do you want to like protect your friend Herzl?
No, for now I'm gonna attack the goblins.
Okay. We got one guy running for the stairwell down below, and then another guy going to assault these goblins. How about you, David? What is Mad Mab doing?
Well, Mad Mab's still a lizard, so...
Oh, yeah, that's right. She's
I think she's going to, I mean, lizards are normal in these parts, I think. So she's going to, maybe as this chaos is going on in this room, kind of just, like, crawl around to see, maybe, like, why they're here, or, like, if they're hiding, like, if they have some supplies or something we can get into.
Oh.
Just a fact-finding lizard mission.
A fact-finding lizard. All right. So this is my reconnaissance lizard. All right, cool. So let's actually do that first, because we can kind of get some more information, and then we can see if people can make it out of here, or if these goblins kill anybody. So let's find some info, lizard.
Thinking
a discern realities, probably.
Discern realities?
Yeah.
Okay, still a 7.
All right, so you got a 7. So you get to ask one of those questions, right?
Yes. How about who's really in control here?
Ooh,
Or maybe Goblin Boss. Top Boss.
That's a great question to answer. Yeah, you look around and you look at this level of destruction, and have you been to this waste station before?
Sure.
Okay. You know it's normally manned by like 4 or 5 guardsmen who usually have like long bows and swords, that kind of stuff, like in case there's any kind of problem, or in case like there's like bandits or there's any trouble in this place. But yeah, these goblins would not have been able to kill those guards, let alone cause this much damage in this place. And as you're looking around, you can, I think you can like see the bodies of the guards, but the bodies of the guards have been like burned. And you look at the weapons that the goblins are holding, and a lot of them are like melted and burned and destroyed. And these goblins would not be able to do that basically at all. And you're like, wait a minute, this place is also like on its side. This would have required like a fucking tornado to hit this place, and also for it to light on fire, or something much, much kind of
much different would have had to go on. And you realize that whoever had done this, who was definitely not these goblins, seem like they're the ones kind of in control of the situation. I'm doing air quotes here. You know that it seems to have something to do a lot with fire. But in the meantime, let's see if Herzl can get the hell out of here before some of these goblins grab him, since he was the one who first got flung into the room.
Definitely didn't run. I entered the room against my will, but let's see. What am I rolling? Dexterity?
Yeah, I think this one could be dexterity because you're kind of trying to like leap away, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
All right. 12.
12, awesome. So yeah, these goblins are like, oh! And they like kind of turn towards you with these like little just fucked up weapons, and you're like, see you later, shitheads, and you leap away, kind of into this like trap door. And since you rolled so well, the thing that I'm going to have you do is, like, as you leap down, you saw that there were steps kind of going down, but remember this place is also on kind of like tilted.
Okay.
And as you kind of leap down, you realize that the steps, whatever that they were like normally connected to, like the rest of a staircase, it's like burned and destroyed. So you have to like kind of like you leap down this thing and have to grab on as you like look down, and like the heat of this chasm, you're like, whoa, I could have fallen way farther. And you kind of look down this thing and realize that this pit, while it's like narrow, goes down really, really far. And towards the bottom, you see like a faint red glowing. And you're kind of like dangling on like, holy shit, that was close.
All right. I'm not in a position.
So
what else is down there? I mean, this is just a straight pit into something that is very far away, red glowing. But I mean, this is just a pit basically. The stairs end, and I'm looking down into this chasm.
Ooh, yeah. Let's come back to you on that as soon as we deal with what Dr. Goldstein is doing. We'll come back and have you kind of survey some more of that.
Sure.
So meanwhile, Dr. Pilchas, all right, you're there. What kind of crazy weapon does Dr. Pilchas use? Because fighters all have like a signature weapon. What's his deal? Because this is the first time we're seeing him fight something.
Warhammer.
The traditional gastroenterologist's weapon, a warhammer.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
With bladed edges.
A warhammer with bladed edges. Now, some might argue that's no longer a hammer. Those people are wrong. They're not doctors. They don't know.
There's also a scope on the handle. For
It's got a laser sight and a silencer. Okay. So Dr. Pilchas whips this massive warhammer off of his back. It has bladed edges. And he's just going to go to town on these goblins.
Time for your colonoscopy.
Yeah.
Yep. What do I have to choose to D6?
All right.
Or what?
So this is a roll called a hack and slash roll, and one of the cool things about this is you can just engage all these goblins. Like, you don't have to be like, I fight the one on the left. You can just be like, I fight all of them.
Okay.
So hack and slash will just be 2d6 plus your strength modifier.
All right. 7.
7. Okay. Cool. So that means basically you're going to get to this like fight takes a little bit, and you and these goblins are kind of like you and these goblins fuck each other up a little. So go ahead and roll your damage, and the goblins will roll theirs.
Yeah.
So.
Oh no.
3, dude.
Three.
Yep.
Okay. So you're fighting with I think this is, at least if you're cool with this, and feel free to add any flavor into this as you want.
Sure.
The first goblin that kind of like steps up, what's the badass action movie catchphrase that you say as you absolutely obliterate one of these goblins?
It's time for your colonoscopy.
Time for your colonoscopy. And you completely destroy this this small, like 2.5 foot green creature holding half of a sword, and then the other ones leap on you. Could somebody roll 4d6?
Yeah, I got it.
And you're just going to tell me the highest result of one of the dice.
6.
6. Okay, but you've got armor, so you're going to take 4 damage as a bunch of these goblins, the rest of the 4 goblins leap on you, and they're clawing at you, and they're trying to stab at you with weapons that are now, like, blunted, so it's more like they're just kind of punching you.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I continue to attack them?
Yeah, we'll come back to that in just a second. All right, Mad Mab, the lizard witch. She's kind of surveying this room, and Dr. Goldstein is beset by all these goblins that have just leapt upon him. How are you feeling about that?
Was that last thing my last hold, or is she still a lizard?
Nope, you're still a lizard if you want to be.
I feel she has no reason to get in the middle of this fight.
Okay. Dr. Goldstein's handled himself like this before. All right. Cool.
Yeah. I guess going unnoticed, she might just be looking around for other dangers that could happen. But yeah, especially as a lizard, I don't think she's interested in fighting these goblins.
Would you be willing to spend, at least till the end of this fight, would you be willing to spend your last hold to remain unnoticed in this fight?
Yeah. Well, if I spend my last hold, I just turn back, though.
Right, but you remain unnoticed and then you'll turn back, essentially. Does that make sense?
Sure. Oh,
okay, cool.
Chameleon blend in.
Yeah, you kind of change colors to look more like the wood paneling. All right. So, meanwhile, slightly downstairs, Herzl Quarterling is dangling from a staircase. And almost imagine like one of those attic staircases that kind of goes down. And as you're kind of looking around and looking at what's below you, you can, like I said, see that this chasm is like pretty narrow. It's pretty small. You can see what there seems to be some kind of like construction that was going on here, or maybe mining that was going on down in this area. You're not 100% positive. It's pretty warm.
Is there a floor that I could get down onto, or is this just like a straight pit? If I let go, I'm going down.
Why don't you go ahead and do a discern realities roll for me? So plus wisdom. Or your wisdom modifier. 7? Awesome. So you got a list of questions there.
What is useful to me? What here is useful to me?
Okay. Well, you seem to want to get away from the fight with the goblins. So this staircase that you're on had kind of gone farther around and almost like on a hiking trail, like switchbacks.
Okay.
Had kind of gone down, but those stairs seem like they've been burned. There is, though, a much narrower kind of almost natural, again, almost like switchback-esque ramp that goes up. It would be way easier to just take the stairs, but those are destroyed. You could probably kind of fling yourself over there if you wanted to get absolutely away from this goblin situation. And
is there a free return? Or am I swinging? Am I like putting myself out? Just gonna live in this cavern if I go out there?
You could probably do that, and then if everything upstairs gets taken care of, kind of like fling a grappling hook or something like that to get back up. It'll just take you a little while.
I am gonna... Is there a way for me to just kind of balance myself on the stairs and just hang there?
Yeah, you can just hang out there if you want.
All right. I'm just going to post up right there, man, and just hang out for a sec and just see if anyone's looking for me.
Meanwhile, we see like Jackie Chan style, Dr. Pilchas Goldstein is surrounded by goblins that are trying to attack him.
Okay.
Is he just going to continue trying to fight them? Is he going to leap down into these steps?
No, I'm going to continue.
Okay. So let's go for it again. Another hack and slash roll.
Okay. 12.
Oh.
There we go. That's a lot better. So when you roll a 10 or more on a hack and slash roll, you have two options. One option is you can just straight up roll your damage and nobody touches you. The other option is you can roll your damage plus an additional d6, but you'll also get hurt as well.
How much? That's unknown how much damage, right? It would be a roll.
Right, it would be a roll.
Fuck it, let's go for it.
Go for it. All right, so yeah, you're rolling your regular thing, which is a d10 plus whatever other modifiers like your weapon gives you, and then an additional d6.
Okay. We got 7.
7 total?
Yeah. Stuck again.
All right.
Well, you rolled a 4 and killed one before, so.
Yeah. So, right? Plus 1d6. Yeah. Okay. Then go ahead and roll just another. We'll say this time just 3d6. And what's the highest one of those?
6 again. Jesus.
6 again? Jesus. All right. So yeah. So you take another 4. You take another 4 points of damage. But at this point, I think you've killed all but one of these goblins.
Okay.
And there's just one left. That's like, he kind of like looks around.
Can I? Does he speak English? Can I like ask him a question?
You could try, yeah.
All right. I try to ask him. Try to ask him what they're doing here now that I've murdered his friends.
Okay. I think that you can. David, do you think that this would make sense as a parlay roll where he's like, "Oh, answer my questions," kind of a thing?
Exactly. I'm intimidating him.
Okay, cool. So go ahead and make a. So when you have leverage on a GM character, I'd say you definitely do. Go ahead and roll plus charisma.
2d6.
Yeah, 2d6 plus your charisma modifier.
Damn it, 5. Shit.
5. All right. Okay, you this thing's like, and it leaps in the same leaps down the same thing that Matt leapt down before, that Herzl leapt through. Like,
I've been waiting. I'm watching for entrance.
yeah, you're there. Go ahead and make a defy danger to get out of the way of this goblin as it's fleeing for its life down this thing and doesn't bowl you over.
What am I rolling for? Dexterity again? What am I doing?
It's defy danger. You could do it through dexterity if you want.
7.
7. Okay. Cool. So, oh yeah. Here's what I'm going to do with this stuff. Unfortunately, and this is really something that hits you the most as a person who's most concerned about stuff.
Oh no.
This was the goblin that had all of the things that had been like valuable at all. And you're just, as you like get out of the way, you're able to see that it's like, it's got some money, it's got some other things, and this goblin just plummets into this chasm, and you're like, no, I'll never know the wealth.
No.
I'll never know the wealth of this goblin.
I'm shrieking hard.
Yeah, you have your William Shatner moment of like, no! As this goblin, you just hear it like, yeah, and it kind of like plummets on down. But yeah, the threats of these goblins.
Are there gold pieces that made it onto the ramp that I could collect?
No, they all sprinkled down and fell off, and you had to really take the moment to not go after them, lest you also fall down.
No, I climb back up to the main floor at this point.
All right. So there you are, the three of you. A lizard in the corner becomes a small woman, as per what the legend said. Yeah, so the three of you are in this room. It's real fucked up. There's the dead bodies of 4 or 5 goblins, the dead bodies of a similar number of guards that are also like burned nearly beyond recognition.
That I noticed.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I said I'll check for valuable objects. Anything of value to me is there.
I think you go around and you're like, oh shucks, nothing.
I take my 2 health potions simultaneously.
You shotgun your health potions?
Yep.
All right. Okay, cool. Well, I think 1 health potion heals you of what?
Only 2 damage, I think.
No, I think it's 10.
I think it's 10. Yeah, so I don't think you need to take 2 of them. I think 1 will be fine.
All right, sounds good.
Cool. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, 2. I thought you were just doing it as like I'm being a crazy glutton.
A hungry boy.
So I'm such a hungry. All right. So, alrighty. That's his gastroenterology degree told him actually of how much health potion he can eat.
Exactly.
All right. So here you guys are in this absolutely kind of wrecked up way station. You know that you're at the moment safe from these ornidones because the geothermic like gas that kind of shoots up prevents them from getting too close. At Herzl, Quarterling also is aware of the like kind of stairs that had gone down below, and he knows that with some time he could get to that kind of like more natural looking trail that leads down into the further into the kind of chasm. He also noticed that there was like construction going on. And to recap, Mad Mab, you are aware that like clearly these goblins did not do this. It's not capable of them doing this stuff, especially goblins don't have fire powers.
Okay. Is there anything that we...
Basically all down.
It's just... Matt knows of the stairs, though, correct? At this point?
I tell them nothing yet.
I share no information with anyone.
Stand there and look at them.
I guess the guards are dead, right?
Oh yeah, you guys. It's just the 3 of you alone in this 30-foot by 30-foot room.
I make a...
What are you gonna do, bro?
I make a small necklace made from goblin toes that I harvest with dead goblins, and I give it to Mad Mab as a gift.
Okay, so Dr. Goldstein is in the process of brutalizing these goblin corpses. I'm
gonna make my...
You know what? While you're doing that, Dr. Goldstein, go ahead and roll your intelligence. Let's see what you know about goblins. while you're war criming their toes off.
Ends up chopping off their wieners.
Oh, dude, I know a lot about goblins, man. I rolled a nice 7.
You rolled a 7. All right. You're like,
yeah.
You're like, huh? It's funny. I'm scavenging goblin parts, and goblins are scavengers. Ho hum. And you're just cutting off their toes. Again, with a hammer? Question mark.
I also have a dagger.
Okay, with a dagger probably makes more sense.
I could try for the hammer.
What's outside that is on the other side of this waypoint? Like,
this waypoint is kind of like basically halfway between Jeruschasm, and Big Chasm City. So, like, you guys would normally stop here, rest, kind of like talk to these guards, see what's going on. If there were other travelers coming the other way, they could tell you, like, there's a sandstorm whipping up on the other side. Careful now, boys. Like that kind of thing. And then you would kind of continue on for an equidistant amount, basically, to Big Chasm City. So you guys could just go, huh, well, this was interesting, and just leave if you want. But especially if you, to kind of kickstart things, if you look out the windows of this place, you could tell that the construction that you're seeing seems to have been around the kind of chasm or ravine itself. It doesn't seem like they were increasing the size of this way station or adding to this way station in any way. They seem to have been doing some kind of construction or mining of the ravine or of the chasm.
I'll let the characters know that there is a ramp leading down into the chasm and some fresh construction down the stairs. Some treasure down there. No.
There's treasure.
I think I saw some treasure down there.
Well, you know there is some treasure that went down there, but it went way down there.
I don't say that part, though. I just say there's definitely some treasure down there.
Oh, we should try and go down. These goblins weren't working alone. Mab says, it's still like just eating a fly still. It's like, oh, he gave me the taste. Being a lizard so long.
Yeah, you're crunching on a big beetle.
All right, so are we heading down?
Let's do it. Let's get that. Right. I guess there's like a ramp going down into this chasm.
Did I finish my goblin toe necklace?
Yeah, so it takes a little while, but eventually on a small piece of twine, Dr. Goldstein can add to his inventory. Oh, but you're giving it to Mad Mab?
Correct.
All right, so if Mad Mab, if you want this, there's a goblin toe necklace.
I think Mad Mab is like, oh, thank you so much. It's beautiful. And then goes to Herzl and says, like, after what Dr. Goldstein turns away and just like, oh, I think I missed your birthday. Here's your present that I made for you.
I'm like, oh, Mad Mab, you're so generous. I pocket that shit.
All right. You're like, oh, these toes, delicious.
Yeah, I think she like sniffs and she's like, I can't eat this.
Yeah. Okay. It's also not been revealed that Herzl Quarterling is a foot fetishist as well, and that's why he wants this toe necklace. All right, so if you guys kind of open this hatch, if you just use if anybody has adventuring gear, if you just use your adventuring gear, you could easily kind of throw a rope from the stairs to this kind of like the more natural switchback trail.
Yeah, I have adventuring gear.
Cool. So the way adventuring gear works is it's pretty much just like the usual shit you would need on an adventure. Like, I need a torch, and that's just one use of the adventuring gear. I need a rope. That's one use of the adventuring gear. That kind of thing. Rather than like, you guys have 40 feet of rope exactly, but unfortunately it's a 60-foot wall. So... But yeah, so if you just mark that you've used one of those things, you guys can easily, you don't have to make any kind of roll. You've got the time. There's no immediate threat. So, yeah, like I said, there's construction or mining that seem to have been going on around the sides or the walls of this ravine or chasm that this thing is built above. And you guys are kind of now like off to the side, and there's an extremely, extremely narrow, like you have to go one at a time and have to kind of do that awkward, like back to the wall, kind of scooching situation to go like along this, but you can foreseeably go down into this chasm. It also is kind of steep, and doing it will not be particularly pleasant. It's like, if anybody was building this isn't how you'd build it. That's the deal. So you guys can kind of head down into this chasm. You can kind of try to figure out more about this like construction or mining that was going on. You could try to figure out more about what the hell happened to this way station.
I'm going.
That kind of thing.
Pilchas is heading in.
Dr. Pilchas Goldstein is just heading on down.
Yep.
You're like once more into the colon, and you're heading on down. Okay. Anybody else have a different method that they're utilizing? You could also do stuff while you're heading on down. Like I said, there's no immediate dangers that you can see aside from like, so long as you guys go slowly and carefully, you're not going to fly off the edge of this thing and into this ravine.
I'll follow him and take a look for any traps.
That sounds good to me. Go ahead and roll your trap expert, which I think is plus wisdom, right?
It is plus dexterity.
Oh, so there you go.
7 again. That's my roll today.
All right, 7 again. So, you can ask any of those questions.
Yeah. Are there any traps here? If there are any traps, what activates them?
So, all right. So there are no trap. I'm going to try to give you some information since you succeeded, and I always hate it to just go there aren't, because I think that's boring. So there aren't any traps, kind of in the traditional sense. You're kind of looking over this stuff and looking at this construction, and you realize that there were probably more people here than just those guards up above. And it seems as though all the construction that was going down here, and all the mining wasn't actually the purpose of it was to widen this ravine, or widen this cavern, or chasm, I mean. And it seems as though there was an additional group of people that were trying to widen this chasm, and that's what this construction on the side is. And so you're able to kind of figure that out as you're inspecting this to see what the if there are traps here. So no, there are no traps, but also you learn something about what's going on.
Okay.
Ooh. And as you guys kind of continue forward, you see like a scorched body part of another human.
So you got any objects on them that are of value?
You see a severed arm, and the arm is incredibly burned and charred up. And you go reach down to grab it, and you pick up it has a ring on it, and the ring is a little bit fucked up. But if one of you guys kind of looks it over real good, you could probably figure out what's going on.
All right, checking it out.
All right, so that's probably whoever's doing that. It's probably more of an intelligence roll for you to kind of consult what you know about the designs on this ring.
All right, here we go.
So that'd be Dave.
I'm not giving up the golden ring that I'm holding. Not a chance. I got fucking 7 again.
You got 7 again.
Dude,
All right.
I'll roll anything else.
So you look at it and you see, you're like, this ring has little engravings of, what's the term?
High school graduate.
Stone cutters tools. Whatever. Pretty good.
I'll point that out and just pocket it.
Okay. So, and then I imagine one of you unceremoniously tosses the arm into the chasm.
Yeah, I kind of just toss it over my shoulder, the arm, and I say, there are stonecutter tools on this ring, and then I throw it right in my pocket.
All right. Okay. So, as a heads up, this, like I said, this thing that you're going down is very steep. And I don't want to make you guys make just another defy danger roll. No, fuck it. This is a defy danger roll. All right. So you guys run into the situation that this thing is very, very steep and very narrow. And you would say to yourself, if anybody was building a ramp, they wouldn't build it at this insane angle without building some kind of handrail or steps or something like that. It's not natural. It looks more natural. It doesn't look like it's completely carved out with tools. It almost looks like it's carved out by feet trudging on it. You know how natural paths form? I guess they're not natural, how over time foot trails form. So it seems kind of more like that, but this would be so difficult for people to kind of trudge up and down that this is nuts. So it's very, very difficult for you guys to go through this. So I think I'm going to have you guys make a defy danger roll to kind of continue along on this.
I rolled an 11.
So
in the lead of this, so behind him, we're gonna or what?
Okay, so I think we've got a few ways that we could try to do this. You guys could rely on your like dexterity to just kind of like make sure you're very well balanced. It's also, as you're going down deeper into this geothermal chasm, whatever the fuck it's called, it's also getting hotter. So it's like pretty tough. So you could use Constitution to be like, I'll just tough it out. I'm not going to get no sweat.
Either way, with the modifier for me, it would be a 12.
Cool. So yeah, so Dr. Pilchas Goldstein is like, not a problem.
I rolled a 5.
All right, and Mad Mab?
So are the walls of this, are they like mined, or is it more natural, like rough?
It's natural.
Like mountain.
Yeah, so it's natural kind of rough stone, but it's very steep. Like it's almost like a vertical wall.
Well, then perfect climbing surface for a rock squirrel, right?
Do you want to try to turn into a rock squirrel to climb along on this?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Squarrior, go for it.
It's another exactly what I rolled last time. Almost perfect. 13.
13. All right. So you're like, you guys, Herzl Quarterling flings this thing behind him, and he like is like, oh shit, I'm gonna hit Mad Mab in the face. And as he turns around, there's just a squirrel like right in front of him, and so he misses with this again severed human arm. But the shock of a squirrel being so close to him after I don't know, maybe he had a child run in with a squirrel or something like that. As you guys are going down, like Herzl, I think kind of like loses his footing, and he kind of does the like, whoa, shit, and I think you guys are able to like grab him and prevent him from falling. But as you do that, like you knock over a whole bunch of like just a whole bunch of like rock and rubble and dirt and that kind of stuff like falls down and tumbles down and makes a bunch of noise. And as you kind of hear that, you hear kind of like off in the distance, and it's pretty dark down here, so it's like tough to see too far ahead of you. There's like a faint glow from down below, and like there is the light from up above, but as you're getting farther along, you kind of hear movement coming up these kind of switchback trails to meet you.
Shit.
And something's approaching.
Is there any rubble or debris on this path that we're walking?
I mean, you could kind of dig at some of the dirt or pick up some rocks or something like that. Sure.
I'm looking for some rocks. So I can just pick up a handful of rocks.
All right.
And I hurl them as hard as I can towards the noise.
Okay. And you hear like some kind of weird language, but like now those sounds are coming towards you, and you soon see at first kind of like glowing eyes kind of like marching up this thing towards you guys, and now it's certainly not just one thing, it's several things.
Do we know what language they're speaking?
Or recognize them?
Ooh, if somebody would want to make a... What the hell is it called? It's an intelligence roll. What is it? Spout lore. That's the term. If somebody would want to do a spout lore roll, they could probably figure out what this is. Whoever's the most intelligent.
She's probably our squirrel friend.
It's a squirrel.
It's not an animal, is it?
You could probably, if you spend one of your things, you could probably tell something about it.
Well, if it is an animal, I can recognize it as one of my moves. But okay, if it's not, then I'll.
No, it is. It is not. It is not an animal. It seems to be some kind of intelligent being.
Sure, then I'll use my squirrel sense, of course, to pick up these different
Cool.
Languages.
So, sure. So I think you can tell something about it more so than like with by the power of squirrels, I can speak all languages. You kind of like sniff the air some and make that like noise that squirrels make, and maybe you can see in the dark a little bit better than these other guys as a squirrel. And I don't know if squirrels can see in the dark, but
Nocturnal squirrels.
but yeah, you are able to there's like these there's like half a dozen of these squat almost like dwarf sized like humanoids kind of trudging up, and they have kind of like burnished like bronzy skin. Their skin, they smell of like burned like metal. They smell of like dirt and like sulfur, and they as they kind of like approach you closer, they seem to like raise up flaming weapons, and yeah, you're not. Yeah, that's the deal. That's what you can pick up from your squirrel sense. You can kind of see that before anybody else.
Your squirrel sense.
Yeah, my squirrel senses are tingling.
Yeah, how many nuts are they carrying on them?
Yeah, you don't smell nuts specifically, but
They're human nuts.
yeah,
2 each.
each has perhaps a pair of testicles. We're not sure. They would call them
Dude, snag.
So we still have no idea what these creatures are, what language they're speaking. None of that is.
Well, we tried to use squirrel senses to pick this up, and so I think he can see that kind of beforehand. If he wants to like relay that to you guys, and you guys want to go for any kind of like action based on that, you can. Otherwise, we're going to say that these things like are upon you guys very soon.
Oh, sure. She'll for sure do the like chittering universal noise for. Oh, there's some metal-smelling dwarf creatures that are coming up the ramp. They seem mean. They have burning weapons, but in cheers and chirps.
Okay. So, can other people understand you when you're a squirrel?
Yeah, just as much as other people can understand squirrels, I think. So 100%.
Yeah. So you've been working with Herzl for a while on your scheme. So let's say that he can he can figure that out. He's like, oh, got it. That's squirrel for. There are these people that kind of seem like they have like metal on them and they have flaming weapons. So he kind of describes that
as well.
So
no nuts.
No, and they have no nuts. Yeah, it's a lot of nut talk. But Herzl, would you want to go ahead and make a intelligence roll again and see if you can figure anything out about these critters?
8. I don't know if that's going to help me at all.
An 8. Okay, so I'll say like based on that, you're like, oh, I've heard stories about creatures that live down in these caverns before, and I thought they were stories about like fire ghosts or that kind of thing. Seems like they're real. I think they were called magmen.
Oh shit.
I look at Squirrel Woman and say, should we run out of here?
Did I get a sense of how many there were?
You were able to see there's at least like half a dozen of them.
We can't even get back easily because you said we'd have to like organize some sort of grappling hook before to get back to the stairs.
Well, you guys set up like a rope to get over to the place, so I think you guys could get up there, but this ledge is kind of a pain in the ass, so you'll probably have to make some kind of roll to outrun these folks if that's the game plan. I'll say...
your mission is just to get like food, right?
Yeah, your mission is to go and get food from the big Chasm city.
Yeah, hummus. Yeah. Okay. So she's like, no, let's get out of here.
Okay, cool. So go ahead and make a You guys are going to have to do a defy.
Short game wrestling. Exactly 0 acorns.
Mhm.
There's nothing of value here.
There's no acorns. But like I said, this ledge is extremely narrow and very, very steep. And going back up is now almost going to is just as difficult as it was coming down. The other thing is, Mad Mab, you can see that these creatures, they're magmen. They do not have that problem at all. They're kind of like trudging up at normal pace. And you guys are going to really have to strain yourselves to get out of here. And so I think this would either be a dexterity, strength, or constitution defy danger, unless you have another way that you do it.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to grab the squirrel and the quarterling
And throw them both at the magma.
and pick them up. And because I'm the strongest and more than likely I have the highest constitution as well, I will start sprinting.
What?
Instead of wasting time with a quarterling and a squirrel.
Okay, well, I'll say you could definitely do that with the squirrel, and there won't be any kind of like repercussions for that. But to pick up Herzl and also do this, I think is going to be pretty tough. So I'll say that. Why don't we have you guys still both make this roll, and we'll see how they interact with one another in the fiction of it. Right? Is that everybody's plan? Is to get the fuck back upstairs?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
All right, I rolled successfully without Jake, so I hope he doesn't successfully pick me up because I got a 10.
I got a 7
You got a 7.
with my mod. Yeah.
Okay.
I got a 10.
Cool.
I'm getting the fuck out of here without Jake and the squirrel.
All right. So I think that okay. Here's the deal with this. You guys are going to be able to kind of like scurry back up and out of here. But you're going to lose something. And I think it's specifically something of Dr. Pilchas's Pilchas Goldstein's. So what's something that you lose? And keep in mind, you guys already lost all your rations. Or no, you ate them all. That's what it was. So do you have more of like your dungeoneering equipment or whatever it is?
Yeah, I do.
So that's an easy thing. If you're like, oh shit, I gotta, like, while you're trying to pick him up, you're trying to wrestle a quarterling and a squirrel, like the shit on your belt falls down, and you're like, just leave it, go.
I have antitoxin as well. I could also lose that.
Yeah, I'd say that's something that you could lose as you're picking this up. It shatters on your side, and you're like, oh shit. You think you wet yourself for a second? Is that what we're going with?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so you're able to get back up and kind of get to this rope, and as you see, as you kind of are climbing up this rope, whoever's the last one of you kind of like climbing up into the way station, the magmen, like one of the magmen points like a hammer towards you and says like
stay out from under the earth, humans.
Or it doesn't say humans, because one of you is a squirrel and one is clearly not human because he's like 1.5 feet tall. So instead he'll say like,
stay out from under the earth, surface dwellers.
Are they directly below our rope now?
Yeah, I wouldn't say directly below the rope, but they've kind of chased you up this thing, and I don't think they're following you up the rope.
Oh, okay.
So you guys are back in this way station. You can keep looking down at them if you want, but pretty quickly you see that they
I'm gonna throw.
They start to, like,
I'm gonna throw the there.
You're throwing the toe necklace?
Yeah, at them.
Oh my god! How did you know that their only weakness is toes? Okay, so you fling the. Are you trying to accomplish a particular thing of just like a fuck you? Here are toes. Or like, are you trying to insult them? What's the game plan here with these toes?
Just kind of coaxing them up our way to the surface, seeing if they are going to come up and through that narrow entrance that we can hopefully just have Jake be smashing their heads in as they're coming up.
Okay. So you whip this toe necklace at them. Go ahead and make another discern realities roll for me. We'll see if you can find some additional information out here based on their reaction to a toe necklace being thrown at them.
This is
a sentence I didn't think I'd have to say.
7.
You got a 7 again. God damn it, Matt. Okay.
Can't stop calling 7.
So
I'm making it hard. Consequences.
Yeah, get you down to Atlantic City with these 7s. All right. So, okay. So what's the question among the discern realities questions that you want to ask?
No, I don't really have any real objective out of those, man. Just gonna chuck this toe necklace at them.
Sure. If you could ask a question that's not on there, what would you ask?
How you like them toes, bitch?
Jake, stop reading your tattoo.
Is there anything valuable on them?
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
Yeah.
not
So
or they have like gold or anything like that.
Oh, okay. That's absolutely a question. What's one of the questions? One of the questions is what's useful or valuable to me. And if what's valuable to you is that's literally just worth money. The Magmen, when you look at their the armor that they're wearing, the armor that they're wearing seems like particularly sturdy. And if you've if Herzl is friends with dwarves, it's almost fits the kind of stereotype of dwarves making really, really impressive armor and weapons. And so the stuff that they're holding seems really of incredible quality. And soon he's able to see that these Magmen, they don't come up the rope at all. I think one of them grabs the rope and then touches its flaming hammer to the rope, and so it kind of ignites and kind of flops down limply. It needs a little halfling juice, but then I think the struts of this way station, they kind of just start wailing on these with these weapons, and this thing's already kind of fucked up, and it seems like this may pretty soon just drop into this chasm, and you guys are gonna have to get the fuck out of here.
Am I still in possession of the squirrel?
Yes, you're still in possession of the squirrel. And I'll say that you guys, it takes long enough where if nobody wants to do anything else related to these Magmen or this way station, you guys can get out of here if you want. But if you're trying to do anything else, it's going to be, you're going to have to make some kind of roll to get out of here safely.
I'll run. I put the squirrel down and run, actually.
These Magmen are wailing on the struts or the supports that are holding up this thing above this ravine. They're going to destroy those and bring this down into the ravine. You guys can just, if you want to, if you're totally done in this way station, if you're totally done with these Magmen, you can get out of there. If you want to do anything else related to them or the way station or anything like that, you're going to have to probably make a roll to get out. So that's kind of the stakes that you're dealing with. Or get out safely. So I know Matt and Jake said that they're down to just get the hell out of there. Is Mad Mab also down to just leave?
Yeah, didn't you hear her squirrel chittering before? She said to leave. No acorns, who cares?
No acorns, we're out. All right, so yeah, you guys kind of get out of this thing, and you're standing kind of on the edge of this ravine, watching this thing slowly kind of shake and fall into this ravine, and pretty soon it kind of plummets down a significant distance, and the Magmen yell up
Stay out!
and kind of broken in a broken version of like the common tongue. So yeah, that's the deal. Yeah, you guys are standing at like the cusp or the precipice of this ravine, and you now realize, uh-oh, shit. We never rested, and now we got to make our way across the kind of the wasteland all the way to Big Chasm City.
Thanks, folks, for joining us here on This American Dice Presents Dungeon World, Mission to Big Chasm City, Episode 1, part of our Cousins Edition. Players for this game included David as Mad Mab the Half-Witch, Jacob as Dr. Pilchas Goldstein, and Matt as Herzl Quarterling. Austin was your Dungeon Master. Dungeon World is a game by Adam Koebel and Sage LaTorra, if I'm saying that correctly. Music for this episode included Land of a Folk Divided, and Remember the Way, both by Midair Machine, and Medieval Abstraction by Lucas Perny and Miloslav Kollar. Join us next week for another exciting episode of Dungeon World, here on This American Dice.
How you like them toes, bitch?